This is very needed to create a healthy situation. Girls need to be protected, now boys also need to be protected. I visited some families, there were over 430 people. They would educate them about their biology without making it into sex education. Misuse is happening at various levels, deception is happening. They're getting wild information all online. How to conduct it in a dignified way is something that has to be told.
It's said about you, Sadhguru can talk about anything under the sun. You are now lately talking about sex education and that how…
I'm not talking, somebody made a movie.
That's right. So, that was about OMG2. So, tell me about that. How relevant, how important, and what is…
See, this was a culture where families means… I have… not my family, but I have visited some families where when I went, there were over 430 people in one family, in one large house in Gokarna, in Karnataka. I spent 3 days with them. It was an incredible experience to see how division of labor happens, how everything happens, and one man, what he says, everybody follows. In today's world of nuclear family, you can't imagine living like that. But they all lived like that. Children till they are 12, 15 years of age, they don't know who is their biological parents, they're just running all over the place. When they grew up like this, for boys there were many male members, for girls there were many women behind them. They would educate them about their biology without making it into sex education, normally as process of life. Because there are so many people in the family, girls need to be protected, now boys also need to be protected unfortunately. But at that time, girls need to be protected, so they would educate them what their body is, how they should behave, what they should do, they shouldn't let anybody do this, that, all these things. Naturally, grandmothers and others would speak. If the mother is little embarrassed to talk to her own daughter, there were aunts and grandmothers and grandaunts and all kinds of people who would easily talk to them. So this naturally was happening. Anyway, they were getting married by the time they were 14, 15 or 16 max. So everything they have to know, they would know. So life just happened that way. But today, we have come to a place where everybody has to educate themselves. That means minimum 23, 24. So their puberty might have happened 12, 13, but there are 10, 12 years of space where lot of them may not figure things out by themselves. So somebody has to tell them. Who is to tell them? It's a nuclear family. Only father and mother are there, nobody else, and they're busy with their stuff. And above all, they may not be able to communicate these things properly. They may become very embarrassed and the child may become very embarrassed. They may not be able to face each other if they talk such things. In the Indian culture, it is still like that. And above all, marriages were happening because they were arranged marriages, parents would check out who they are, what they are, and then fix it. And with the trust, people, both boys and girls, went with that without even seeing the girl. I know many of my uncles and all just married without seeing the girl. Because they trusted, they said, no, that girl is good-looking means, they said, okay, she's a good girl means good girl. That's all, because they always thought their judgment is better than my own. But that is not the age in which we are living. Today, by the time they're 12, 13, they are online, they have social media friends, all kinds of things. Misuse is happening at various levels, deception is happening. Just now they brought a law, any deception if you use, there will be 10 years imprisonment. So this is for the times in which we are. Maybe in another 50 years we may not need such things, but right now our society needs it because this is just the first generation, gullible generation, stepping out into a world that they are not familiar with, stepping out into… from an organized structure to a wide-open structure. A lot of misuse is happening. So, considering this, educating somebody about their own biology. What is the nature of your biology? Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? How to conduct it in a dignified way that is dignified for you and people around you is something that has to be told. Otherwise, they'll do wild kind of things. Above all, they'll hurt themselves, they'll feel guilty, they'll struggle, all these things. I feel any education is good education. Whatever is needed, you must educate, otherwise how will it happen? What form of education? That mode changes from time to time. Right now, that onus has fallen upon the schools because the family structure is no more that organized as it used to be. It has just come down to 2 or 3 or 4 people, so it's very difficult to do these kind of things there unless they've built that kind of relationship. Many parents are doing that, but that's not possible for everybody. So I think the onus definitely goes into the education system. But at the same time, these are kind of things that must be told to the child from somebody that they trust. Someone else who you don't care for, if they come and say all these things, I don't think it'll work. So creating those people in school that children trust them, that they can talk about these things and the children will be open enough to ask the right questions, I think this is very needed to create a healthy situation, especially to create safety for girl child in their adolescence and safety in terms of various other diseases and other things that spread. Otherwise, they're getting wild information all online, they're researching everything, and whoever guides them, that's how it goes. It is better at least a responsible person says this, even if you don't like him. At least a person, if he makes a mistake, you can hold him responsible. You can't hold anybody online responsible. But it's needed in the society because we are a society at crossroads. This is the first generation of women who are stepping out of their homes to go to work. They need to be educated. They may be adults, but still lot of them have no clue how the world works and they can be very easily misused. It's happening on a daily basis. And the younger girls probably are better educated than those little older ones because probably they have more access to information. I think it's very needed for women's safety, responsible behavior from the young males, all these things. Not that everything can be fixed, but it is definitely better if they're educated about this rather than playing hide and seek and learning in the back street.